Hi everyone, welcome to today's tutorial, and in this video I will be showing you how you can recreate this cinematic color grading effect in Adobe Photoshop. And it's super easy to do. There's nothing much you have to do at all. You just have to tweak with the settings and you can get this type of an effect. I know there's not much, but actually this is how the original photo looks like, but by adding all the effects and making some tweaks in the settings, you can get this type of an effect and make your image look a lot better, right? So let's dive right in. So I have already opened up my image right here. It's of this man wearing a denim jacket and he's wearing jeans, right? So you can use any image of your choice. It's not necessary that you have to use a similar kind of photo that I am using, right? So what I'm going to do is that first things first, that I'm going to come over here in my layers panel. I'll come over here to my adjustment layer, and I will be using this, and I will be adding this gradient right here. Okay. So I'm going to tweak this one first. So I'm going to use this one, which is foreground to transparent. So make sure you're using that. So the style is going to be radial. The angle over here, I'm going to make it 0. And the scale, I'm going to make it 300. And I'm going to reverse this as well. And okay. So as you can see that even adding like this small effect, it's starting to look a little different now, right? So let's continue. So now I'm going to come back here to my adjustments layer, and I will be using this channel mixer layer right over here. Okay. So in my output channel, I'm going to make sure that I am in the blue one right here, which is this last one. And then I'm going to make some changes over here in this red, green and blue percentages. Alright. So the first thing, the red is going to be 0%. Green over here, and the second one, I'm going to make it 75% like this. And in the blue, I'm going to make it 25 like that. Okay, and then I'm going to close this. And okay, now coming back to my adjustments layer again, I'm going to select this option which says Selective Color, and I'll make some changes here as well. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is red. Okay, so the first one, which is cyan, is going to be -30. The magenta is going to be -10 as well. The yellow, I'm going to make it 30. And I'm going to let black be 0% as well. And the next color I'm going to come here is to neutrals. So in cyan and magenta is going to be 0%. And the only change I'm going to make here is that I'm going to make yellow to be 5% like that. And lastly, I'm going to come down here to the blacks. In the blacks, again, I'm going to let cyan and magenta be 0%. And over here in the yellow, I'm going to make it -10%. And the black, I'm going to make it 5% like this. Okay. So we're almost done. So there's just slightly more effects that we have to add. So I'm going to come back here to my adjustment layer. And this time I'm going to choose this one which says color balance. Okay. So the first one you see over here, it's mid-tones. Now I'm going to make some changes here as well. So the first one, which is cyan, which is between cyan and red, I'm going to make this to be -25. Magenta is going to remain 0. And this last one, which is between yellow and blue, I'm going to make this 5 like that. Now coming to the shadows, the first one, cyan and red, is going to be 0. Second one, the shadows is also going to remain 0. And the last one, which is the yellow and blue, that is going to be 10. And now last, which is the highlights. The first one is going to be of the value of -5. The second one remains 0. And the last one remains to be -10, like that. Okay. And as you can see, as I'm adding all the effects right here, you can see that the effect has starting to take some kind of a shape in my image as well. So I'm gonna make one last adjustment layer, and this time I'm going to choose curves. So over here, I'm going to make some slight changes here now. So, okay. So in my input one right here, I'm going to make this to be 156, and the output is going to be 166, like that. Okay. So once that's done, I'm going to make sure that I'm still in my curves layer like that. I'm going to hold on to shift and select this gradient fill layer like that. So once I do that, notice that all these layers in between get selected, and I'm going to group them together. So to do that, I'll be clicking on Ctrl+G on my laptop like that. And there you go. So we have now successfully made our cinematic color grading effect in Photoshop. And you can see it's the same effect right here. So it was that easy to give it a nice effect. So you can try the same kind of effect in different kind of photos as well. It's not necessary that you have to use the same photo like I mentioned. So obviously, if you use use the same settings in a different photo, the effect might look a little different, but it's going to turn out a lot better than what you expected. So without further ado, let's also save our file. In order to do that, I'll be clicking on File and clicking on Save As right here. So I'm just going to save it here in my file where I usually save all my Photoshop files. So I'm just going to save this in the same name, which is Cinematic Color Grading. And since this is was for the tutorial, I'm just going to add the word tutorial in front of it as well. So the save as type over here, you can see that by default it's going to be an Adobe Photoshop file, which is short for PSD. And you can just click on save and OK. So it usually takes a few seconds for your image to get saved in a PSD file. And once that's done, you can see that this .psd comes up. So that's it. We have now successfully created our effect and also saved it as a PSD file. So now that we've come to the end of a tutorial, I hope you found this video to be useful, and with a little practice and with a little bit of experimentation, you can add such type of effects in different kinds of photos as well. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.